Not for the first time this season, Graham Napier came to his side's rescue with a 50, but Kent still had the edge over Essex at the end of the first day of their latest LV County Championship match in Chelmsford. Put in by James Treadwell, Essex, winners of their last 4-day match against Glamorgan last week, made a steady start through Tom Westley and Jake Mickleborough, who were batting against a Kent team which had been blown away by Alan Richardson in a 2-day finish last time out. The two Essex openers would have been hoping to rub salt into their opposition's wounds, and they batted calmly through a mostly incident-free morning session, which saw Westley and Mickleborough survive the opening 28 overs of the match to lay a good platform for the rest, with an opening partnership of 67. That was broken a dozen minutes before the lunch break, when Westley, on 30, tried to remove his bat from danger, but ended up dragging this ball from Mark Davis back onto his stumps. Ravi Bopara survived until lunch with Mickleborough, but fell immediately after the restart as he guided a length ball from Davis to Darren Stevens before he troubled the scorers. Davis was on the mark again in his next over. On 37, Mickleborough edged him to second slip when Matt Coles held on. Essex welcomed back Ryan Tender-Scarter from the Indian Premier League, but not for long. He'd scored only a single run when he flashed at and nicked Charlie Schreck behind. And when Ben Folkes' attempted leave 2 balls later simply deflected the ball to Stevens, Essex had lost 4 wickets for 8 runs in 5 overs after lunch to leave them in a substantial hole on 77 for 5. Thankfully, Essex do have a very strong lower middle order. James Foster is included within that, and he was soon finding the boundary off Schreck after his arrival at the crease. His runs were much needed. He brought up the 100 and now looked to push his side on to a more respectable total. He added 32 runs with Mark Patini, who'd made 16 when he played down the wrong line to Stevens and was LBW at 109 for 6. That brought the second division's leading run scorer, Napier, in, and yet again, even as low as number 8, he didn't let anybody down as he continued his excellent form. A thick edge brought him a 67 ball 50, the 5th time that he's got at least that far in 9 innings this summer. More often than not, he's been his county's leading scorer in an innings this year, and this was to be no exception. He put on 88 invaluable runs with Foster for the 7th wicket, only to lose his captain with a total of 197, as he offered Cole some catching practice in the slips after contributing 47 runs. In spite of that wicket, Schreck was removed from the attack, leaving it to Stevens to quickly finish off the innings. Napier on 58 missed the gap and turned this ball to Brendan Nash. David Masters edged to Sam Northeast at 3rd slip. And Tom Craddock did exactly the same as Essex were all out for 212 after 82 overs, Stevens ending up as the pick of the bowlers with 4 for 36. That gave Kent, dismissed for 63 last time out, a dozen overs to survive before the close, something that Rob Key wasn't able to do as he was expertly held standing up by Foster to give Masters his 23rd championship wicket of the season. Nash and Northeast were able to get through the last 7.5 overs without incident to close on 20 for 1. You already get the feeling that this will be a relatively low-scoring contest. Kent will resume 192 runs behind when play starts again on the second morning.